This video is on a family guardian. I don't mean like a legal guardian, I mean someone who endures a lot to make sure that her family is taken care of. Her name is Julia Wolfe. She's a good woman. She tries her best to take care of her family. They're mostly drunk, mostly all of the time. And they disrespect her greatly. And she takes it, and she endures it, and she speaks up. But she's very quiet about it. She wants her family safe. She doesn't want them to freeze to death drunk out in the snow. She lets them sleep on her floor, even though they have a place to go. They go there. They go there because, well, this woman is small and frail, but she's good to them. She does set boundaries, and they don't listen very well, but she holds her ground. She stands watch over them at night. They don't get the way that they do in other places in her household. They're disrespectful, yes. They're loud, yes. But not to the same degree. There's a lot of people in the area who endure a lot of physical abuse. There's a lot of alcohol abuse here. There's a lot of meth abuse here. And she is kind of lucky. The people that are in her family that crash at her place, they're just alcoholics. But an alcoholic, just like a meth head, will steal from family to supply their habit. I would like very much for Miss Julia to have a place where she could help these people a little bit better. She's got a small low-income apartment. It is small. This woman takes care of a lot of people that, well, they were the people that I took care of in Boulder, Colorado. She does it because she genuinely loves them, even though they're drunk. Even though they're drunk all the time, she remembers them when they were children. She remembers them when they played basketball. She remembers them from growing up. This is her family. Family here is different. In white society, your brother is your brother because he came from your mother. Here, your cousin could be your brother because he is that close. Here, your grandmother could be your mother because she is that close. So you hear a lot of people here that they call their cousin or their second or third cousin their brother because they're like this. Julia, she has a lot on her hands. Sometimes there's 4 or more alcoholics at her house that are all wanting to be argumentative. She's sober. So while I was at her place, I was there for one night. I agreed to stay the night if her grandson, went to bed. He didn't. So I was there all night. He was talking until 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes in a very loud voice. We've got a neighbor down the hall who wanted to fight. So they were screaming at 2 o'clock in the morning at each other in the hallways. Julia deserves better than this. But then, what better service to your family than guarding over them? When they were trying to get into a fight in the hallways, I stood in between them. I put my hands out, and I asked them not to. I asked them please not to. And it's not my place in this society especially to ask people not to fight with each other. If they're screaming and I'm overwhelmed, they tell me, yes, there is a fight, but the fight is not with you. It's not your fight. We're not directing it at you. You are a human, and we are treating you like a human. We are treating you accordingly. You are not the one who is being disrespectful. So even though there is screaming, you do not have to be afraid. The house that I'm in now, when the woman came home, she understandably was angry because people have been stealing her things. And there's a stranger in her house. And two people that are drunk all the time and known for stealing her things that are family to her, so she still accepts them. They're here with this stranger, and even though I'd only been here 20 minutes when she arrived, pretty much immediately she was angry and she was screaming and she was smacking things, and they're her things. It's a scary environment for me. The woman was very drunk. And her brother as well was very drunk. And her brother sat down with me and he was explaining to me the same thing as at Julia's place. Sean, yes, they use my name. They remember my name. And I remember theirs. We use each other's names to remember them. He said, Sean, she's not angry with you. She's angry with them. They trashed her house. They have beer bottles and beer cans all over the place. They have food wrappers. They have been using the toilet despite the fact that the pipes are clogged. The whole house smells like it. They didn't know how to turn on the heater, so I turn on the heater. Julia has heat at her house. That's part of the reason they go over there. This morning over here, when I got up, it was freezing. So I got up and I did what the responsible thing that someone who's sober would think to do, and that is to turn on the heater. The woman who owns the place, or who lives here, she wants the heater on, and nobody else knows how to turn it on except for me. So I turn it on. The difference between Julia and I is that Julia watches over her family. She guards her family. I try to guard everyone because we all do need protecting. We do need to be kept safe, sometimes even from our own decisions. Our own decisions to drink, our own decisions to do methamphetamines, our own decisions to allow our house to become a flop house. But then, this house here, the people that woman allows into her household, these are her family, these are her brothers, her sisters, her cousins. And she's trying to guard them best as she can. When she got home and realized that there were two people there that she was surprised to see there, and a stranger, she was angry. She is still angry about it. However, she did not treat any of us wrongly. Instead, she allowed those people to sleep off their drunk in her place. She had me turn on the heat so that they wouldn't freeze. And then she took me to her grandmother's house, Julia's house. That was my first night here. And Julia is a good woman. She is a guardian. She's not huge. She's not massive. But she is a warrior. She is a fighter. She's a fighter of a different sort, though. She fights to keep these people alive in the hopes that they'll realize how much she loves them. and they will stop hurting themselves in front of her. And that is what's happening here. She sees them drinking. It does hurt her. It hurts them. And she sees it. And still, at night, she stays up until they come home, and then she stands watch over them. We should all have such guardians.